Today we're going to be talking about a PC test bench and why it's useful. Computers are a fine thing. That is until we have to fix them. Let me be completely honest. You can fix most issues without a technician. Some issues even technicians won't be able to help with. Now, you may be wondering what is a test bench. In computer terms, a PC test bench is an open-air computer case designed for quick replacement of components without having to go through many hoops. Something kind of like this. And I'll show you a screenshot as well. While it may seem a little complex, it is nothing more than an exposed computer case. You can grab components from other devices and use them to check functionality. You can also pull components from your exposed case to use on other computers. Kind of like checking with known good components to see if another is faulty. Just bear in mind that some components are compatible with their own architectures. Do not mix CPUs with non-compatible motherboards and different generation RAMs with a specific generation RAM on a motherboard. Keep your manual and know your serial numbers in case you need to check with your manufacturer. A lot of computer enthusiasts start building their computers and they don't check the motherboards and get the correct CPUs. In some cases, they start buying stuff without looking. So make sure you do your due diligence before buying things on the internet. Now, let me show you how a test bench is supposed to look. Now, I did my own research and chose components available and affordable to myself. You may want something similar to a system you are already running, or you may be in the computer repair business and you want to have multiple components of different generations to test if you get a different type of computer than one you're expecting. Just know you can make it your own. My components are the following. The case is Dalaibukesi DIY computer on Amazon. The motherboard is an ASRock H370M HCV, LGA 1151, Intel H370. The CPU is an Intel Core i3-9100F. The power supply is a Thermaltake Smart 80 Plus 600 watt. The RAM is a DDR4. You can get any choice you prefer. The GPU is an MSI Radeon R7 250OC 2 GB. The CPU cooler is a Thermaltake Peerless Assassin 120. What a name. And if you are interested, I bought a mini monitor for testing from JNidiot store. And I'll show you a screenshot. This is a 7-inch LCD HDMI monitor that works with power from the computer. It gets power from a USB-A port and has VGA, HDMI, and AV. I will go ahead and open the box so we can see how this is all packaged. And here we are. So we got the basics of all the components. This is the box that it came with. You see here, came in a nice blue folder. Electronic tutorial. We can scan the QR code. This is an open case. You can see all the holes. We'll start putting it together. You can see here, we have our RAM. We have our GPU. We have our motherboard ready for the CPU. Our CPU. CPU cooler cleaned up. And our power supply. Now you can get whatever components fit your needs. I got these ones to play around and test. Now I gotta give them props because everything is in Ziploc bags. We even have a plastic case with all the hardware. This is pretty nice. We have to align it this way as shown in our instructions, which like you guys saw, it was a QR code. So you have to see everything on your phone. And we're going to do the ATX configuration. Okay, doesn't have to be super tight. So we have one here, 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 1, 2, and 3. You'll see it right now. Nice for magnetic screwdrivers. Getting it free. It's probably quicker doing it by hand. See right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9. Now we'll secure the motherboard using the same B1 screws. Now, if you wanted to attach SSD or 2.5 or a mechanical drive 3.5, you see these two holes right here, 1 and 2. You can attach it this way, and it'll be sitting just like this. You can use any one of these ones. You can attach it here, and it'll stand like this, and you'll screw it from below going up. You just need the connections, and that should be it. In this scenario, I'm not going to be installing this one. I just want to be able to boot into the BIOS and make sure that the computer is fully operating. Now, for the power supply, you'll need this bracket, and you'll see how it takes the shape of these screws on the power supply right here. We'll be installing it with these nuts, no pun intended, these screws. Okay. We'll be using these black screws right here. We'll just use a couple. Let's use a couple because we don't need that many. This is a test bench. Okay, we can see the power supply. It's now sitting with the 2 screws and the other screws holding it to the case. Now there is a power button for the computer. So on your motherboard, you have to look which one says power button. In my case, is this one right here. And it has BLED and then plus power button. And it says the top one. So I'll put it in here. And it'll basically, when we click it, it'll short those 2 connections. Okay, as you can see right here, just stick your power connection here, right here. Just push it in. This will be your power button. You tighten it down with the nut. Move it through the cable. Okay. And you tighten the nut on the back. So well, doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, it is a test case. But you do want it somewhat nice. And watch out with these corners, with these edges, because they're a little sharp. We go back to checking, reading here what it says, and it does say power button. Put it there again. And if you do make a mistake, you can always come back and fix it. I'll start, you know what, I'll put in that CPU first now that we're right here. And make sure your arrow, this arrow, is pointing to the arrow on the actual board. You're going to sit it here nicely. It'll take the form. And then you're going to make sure it's under the screw, the plate. Then make sure you tighten it down. It's nicely in place. I'm going to do my CPU cooler at the end, so I don't want to have any issues. Now, we're going to do our graphics card. And it seems to have these brackets here for the graphics card. Looks like it's going to go something like this. But let's test it, see how it looks.
Okay, and personally, this is how I'm going to align it, because I don't want these connections to be inside the space right here. Because then you get stuck. This VGA connector gets stuck in this area. This VGA connector gets stuck in this area, and it's a little annoying. So I'm just gonna keep them like this, and I'm gonna use this hole to attach it with the hole in here. We'll see how it works when I install it. But this is how I'm gonna do it. You guys want to do the same? Do it that way as well, because I know it can get annoying removing these graphics cards on these test cases with these brackets. And you'll see. You can see there, it's a tight fit. If I push it in there, getting it out is gonna be a nightmare. Okay, and it looks like it fits onto this screw. Basically, just push it up. You can see how it's a skinny screw. Leaves a little bit of room to move around, so that's nice. I'll just use one because I don't want to deal with the complicated removal. You can see, it's more than enough to hold it in. It allows the card to prevent some of the flex that it comes sometimes with these cards. And because it's in this position, it's not going to have like much flex. It's not vertical. It's right now it's sitting down like this. All the components are resting on the motherboard. We have our power connection. We have our RAM. You know what? We can finish. We're going to install the legs. This piece right here. Here we go. Come on. And you have the motherboard connection from the power supply and the CPU. Now, we all know we need a thermal paste for our CPU. So make sure you don't forget about that. And what I do is I apply the 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. You clean up your thermal paste for the excess from the tip. Put the cover back and you'll be able to use it a few more times. This is our CPU cooler. I'll attach the connection to the CPU fan right now before do anything else. I'll hold them over the top and I'll make sure I align it correctly. Make sure you prepare your tools beforehand. Unlike me. Now this CPU cooler has a screw on the top and then on the bottom. So you just gotta make sure you align it correctly so you don't make a mess with the thermal paste. Once it's sitting there, you'll see that it's tightly in place, held onto the CPU and to the brackets on the motherboard. Doesn't need to be overly tight, just tight. Once you have all your connections, just make sure, do a little bit of cable management. Make sure stuff is in order. You can see here this fan is sticking up a little bit more when compared to this one. This is so I can put in the RAM sticks without having to remove the fan. And the RAM is installed. What I'll do, so I'll put it over here so you guys can see the screen. Okay, we're plugging in our cable to the graphics card, and at the same time I'm putting a USB-A cable to the motherboard so that we can get power to this little monitor on the side. Make sure we plug into our power supply. Okay, press the power button. I made sure my power supply was connected as well. Connected and the switch on.
And look at this, guys. Look at this. You guys see the BIOS? Total memory 8 gigabytes. Processor speed 3.6. 9100F CPU. I boot it right onto the BIOS. If I want to install the current Windows 11 operating system, I can do that. We know the graphics card is working. We know RAM is working, CPU is working, all the components are working. In case you were to want to test one of these components on a computer that's failing, and of course it has to be compatible as well, at least when talking about the CPU. You can pretty much, if you have a graphics card issue, you can plug in this graphics card into any other computer, and it should be able to boot up if it's the GPU, the one that's having the issues or the failure. So, I hope you guys, whatever model or whatever case you guys are looking at, let's check this switch again. Boom. Turn right off. Everything's working flawlessly, I would say. And these, I'm gonna have the description for all the components and also this little screen because it's great for testing. You guys saw that. I'm gonna turn off the power supply. You can see that fan was getting that extra remaining power and was using it. So basically, computers now should have no power, but definitely I don't recommend just sticking your fingers into the motherboard. Just let it something else you can do is click on power again, and it'll discharge whatever electricity remains in the system. But yeah, I'm quite happy about this case. I like it. I like it a lot. And if you guys want to buy this one, just know that this one, it took a while for me to get it, but there is other ones out there. Let me do a video of the computer with my hands. And of course we have my mouse and my keyboard with this case. This is how it looks. CPU cooler, graphics card, power supply, not the best, but I got it for cheap on eBay. You can see the legs. And like I said, I hope you guys liked the video. And if you guys are buying the same model, I hope it helps out with the putting together. It's not too bad. Honestly, I thought it was going to be worst. But you see how everything is. The more motherboards and components you have, the more stuff you can test it with different specifications. And I mean DDR4, DDR5, DDR3, other CPUs, AMD versus Intel. If anything, it'll help you become a better computer professional or computer enthusiast. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll have everything, all the links in the description. I'll have the case and all the components just in case you would want to build something similar. It was it cost me a good penny, but it's pretty small compared to one of those big, nice setups out there. But I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.